We opened Apple Book Center in 1996, and we opened at a time when independently owned and operated bookstores were dropping out like flies, literally. Of the 11,000 or so registered independently owned and operated bookstores, they were closing at a rate of about 200 per year, according to the American Booksellers Association. They were being overtaken, and just overwhelmingly overtaken, by the superstore concept and the World Wide Web, or the threat of the World Wide Web, making reading a book an obsolete thing to do. So we opened at a time when that was very real and very prevalent in the industry. I saw it differently, though. I saw what I'm doing here at Apple Book Center as a microcosm of that. I don't have a superstore in my neighborhood. There's not a superstore within 6 miles of that location, yet I find it to be a very viable community to have a bookstore in.
Some would say that Apple Book Center is a superstore in their community.
Yeah.
How you got that building into that shopping plaza is a story in and of itself.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I wish I could say that it was done by scientific methodology, but what really happened is a good friend of mine called and says there's a great location, you might want to go take a look at it. I did. I called the number on the for lease sign in the window. They asked me how old my business was. I explained that it was just being incorporated, that we were still applying for the bank financing, and I could tell that they weren't very interested in that. But because I don't take no for an answer, I kind of casually asked before he hung up, who owns the real estate. He explained that Henry Ford Health System owned it. I wrote the CFO of Henry Ford Health System a letter and asked if I could share with him an idea that I had for that location. That would be a win-win-win for Henry Ford, for the community, and for the entrepreneur behind it, me. And he not only read the letter, but he took my call when I called, and he saw me, and I told him I wanted to start the first Apple Book Center right there on the northwest side of Detroit, and that I would be promoting reading, and I shared with him some of the activities and some of the ideas I had for a marketing plan. And he said, I think reading is very important. How can I help you have this happen?